He won't always say it, and most men don't even know how to explain it, but deep down every man is searching, not just for beauty or chemistry, but for a woman who wakes something rare and deep inside him, a loyalty that goes beyond logic, a desire with no distractions, a devotion that feels like fate. If you do these 5 things, not only will he stay, but he won't even look at another woman, because he'll know he's already found what most men quietly dream about. There's a power inside you that, when fully awakened, makes you unforgettable, not just to him, but to his biology. It's not about chasing him, pleasing him, or trying to win him over. It's about becoming the kind of woman who moves differently, who speaks right to his masculine soul, not with words, but through her presence. These 5 steady traits secure a man's loyalty in every way, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. A man's heart isn't won by surface-level efforts or short-lived pleasures. It's captured when a woman connects with something deeper in him, his purpose. Most women miss this. They focus only on emotional support or comfort, thinking that what a man truly needs, especially a driven or visionary man, is alignment. Not just someone who listens, but someone who sees his direction and believes in it, even before it becomes real. That doesn't mean giving up your dreams or putting his needs first. It means understanding that one of the deepest parts of a man's spirit is his desire to follow a purpose, and the woman who helps him stay clear and strong in that mission becomes more than just a partner. She becomes his guide, and a man never leaves his guide. Many relationships break not from lack of love, but from a lack of shared direction. Emotional chemistry without the same vision is like a nice car with no gas. It won't take you anywhere. When a woman asks a man about his goals, his fears, his hopes, not to correct him, but to truly know him, something important changes inside him. He doesn't just feel heard, he feels supported. He starts becoming a better version of himself, and that is rare and deeply attractive. When you say, "I believe in what you're building, I see the man you're becoming," those words don't just enter his ears, they settle deep in his bones. He no longer feels alone in what he's working toward. He feels like he's building something with someone who understands. Here's where many women get it wrong. They think speaking to a man's purpose means giving up their own power, but it's actually the opposite. A high-value woman doesn't shrink to make room for him, she lifts the whole journey. She knows who she is, what she wants, and what she brings. But she also knows that a man who feels alone in his mission will eventually wear down or shut off. When that happens, many men start drifting, not always physically, but emotionally. They look for inspiration and energy in other women, the kind they don't feel anymore with their partner. But if a man already has a woman beside him who supports his dreams, pushes him with love, and celebrates his wins like they're her own, he doesn't need that outside energy. He becomes loyal not just because of love, but because he deeply respects you. Because now you're not just his partner, you're his team. What does this look like in real life? It means asking better questions. It means learning a bit about what he loves, not because you have to be an expert, but because being curious shows you care. It's noticing when he's made progress. It's lifting him up when he's doubting himself. It's reminding him of who he is when the world tries to make him forget. It's also knowing when to stay quiet and let him figure things out, and when to speak up and ground him again. It's not about flattering him, it's about being fully there. And presence, when it's rooted in respect and belief, is something he'll never forget. You can't fake this. Men are wired to notice what's real. He'll know the difference between someone who just says what he wants to hear and someone who actually believes in him. That's why, before you can speak to his purpose, you must know your own. Be strong in who you are, what you want, and why you matter. Only then can you stand beside a man's vision, not trying to change it, compete with it, or cling to it. You become someone who fuels his fire, not someone who holds him back. That kind of connection changes everything. It removes the need for control, fear, or jealousy. Because once a man knows that his mission and your belief in him are connected, he'll protect that bond with everything. In a world that keeps telling men to always prove themselves, the woman who reminds him of his worth, without him having to earn it every single day, is rare. He will protect you. He will make you his focus. He will think of you before making big decisions, not because you pushed your way into his world, but because your belief in him is part of his soul. There's a saying, behind every great man is a great woman, but really, beside every man who rises is a woman who saw his future before it became real. That kind of woman can't be replaced. And when you learn to speak to his purpose, not just to his emotions, you won't need to worry about other women. Because when a man knows that no one else sees him the way you do, supports him like you do, or believes in him like you do, his loyalty starts deep in his soul, long before his body ever has to decide. In that connection, other women won't even matter. Men are visual by nature, not just in the body, but in the mind. Their eyes are the first way in. Emotion, attraction, even loyalty often start there. But here's what many women miss. Being visually loyal to a man doesn't mean being the most beautiful woman on earth. It means being the woman whose look, whose vibe, whose presence stays in his memory, no matter who else walks by. And this isn't about filters, trends, or trying to be perfect. It's about learning how to hold a man's eyes with your real self, with purpose, intention, and energy, so deeply that just the thought of you feels like home. Visual loyalty starts with being different. In a world where most women copy the same looks, the same poses, and even the same voices, the woman who dares to stay true to herself becomes magnetic. A man can scroll through 1,000 photos, but if your presence, your walk, your look, your energy is real and unique, he won't forget you. Even if he doesn't know why, he'll keep thinking about you. And when that attraction is mixed with depth, it becomes loyalty. Most people don't understand this. Yes, looks get his attention, but looks without confidence and self-respect fade quickly. The woman who holds his attention long-term is the one who knows how to dress to match her energy, how to leave a feeling behind through her scent, her voice, her expression. Heels might make your legs look good, but how you move in them tells him who you are. A red dress might turn his head, but the way you wear it, the way you smile or turn your head while wearing it, that's what stays with him. That's not vanity, that's influence. And influence, when mixed with kindness, wakes up the part of him that wants to protect you. Here's the key. Visual loyalty is about what your image makes him feel. If seeing you brings him peace, excitement, challenge, or desire, his brain starts tying your image to joy, to love, to meaning. But if you look beautiful and carry bitterness, he'll tune out. If you carry lightness, calm, joy, every time he sees you, even briefly, his body remembers that feeling. And that's when he looks at you and feels like he just saw the sun rise. Mystery is also important, not secrets or games, but the art of not giving everything away all at once. At the beginning, everything is exciting, but true loyalty grows when he keeps discovering new things in you. How your style shifts, how your energy changes in different places, how your voice softens or sharpens depending on the moment, that keeps his eyes locked on you. And when his eyes are focused, his desire follows. You don't need to show more skin, you need to show more soul. In your expressions, in your stillness, in how you look at him without saying a word. Because men don't just want to see, they want to watch. If you give them something to take in, something real, they'll never stop looking. You become their favorite scene. Now let's talk about energy. It's the invisible spark that changes how a man sees you. Ever notice a woman who walks in and grabs every glance without even trying? That's energy. Confidence, not cockiness. Softness, not weakness. Awareness, not desperation. When how you look matches how you feel inside, and when your look reflects who you really are, a man feels right around you. He doesn't just think you're beautiful, he sees truth. And once a man sees truth in you, no one else compares. Every man is a bit different in what catches his eye. Some love boldness, some love simplicity, some love elegance. Study him. Learn what draws him in, not for the world, but for him. Maybe it's your perfume when you're sitting beside him. Maybe it's how you laugh. Maybe it's that one outfit that still makes his breath catch after 10 years. These things are visual anchors. Use them not to control, but to connect. Visual loyalty, like emotional love, is built through care, attention, and knowing what matters most to him, not what matters to everyone else. There's one more secret. Bonding happens through repetition. If you always wear something soft and familiar during your most intimate moments, if your look and your presence feel consistent, he'll start to link that with safety and desire. And safety mixed with desire is what makes a man stay. So no, you don't have to be a model or copy social media trends. What you need is to own your energy. Walk like you mean it. Look at him like he matters. And carry yourself in a way that reflects both your beauty and your depth. That's how you create a kind of visual loyalty that never fades. It's about creating the kind of presence where even when his eyes wander, they always come back to one woman, you. In a world that constantly demands, judges, and drains a man, what he deeply craves, sometimes more than sex, more than praise, even more than success, is peace. Not just the peace that quiets the outside world, but the kind that settles the storms inside him. The truth is, most men live in a quiet battle. They wake up with the heavy load of hidden expectations to perform, to provide, to protect, to succeed. And rarely are they given a space where they can simply rest without being judged. Society teaches them to stay strong, to hide emotion, to keep moving forward, even when something inside them feels like it's falling apart. While the world sees them as tough and unshakable, inside, many are just searching for a place where they can safely put down their emotional armor. That place, if you choose to become it, is you. Being a man's peace doesn't mean being silent or weak. It means having a different kind of strength. It's about being emotionally steady, spiritually balanced, and calm in how you carry yourself. When a man comes home, whether physically or emotionally, he's not just coming back for small talk or habits. He's looking for peace. A woman who gives him space without overreacting, who listens without cutting him off, who is soft without losing herself. This doesn't mean ignoring your own needs or being walked over. It means knowing that true feminine power doesn't have to fight for control. It simply shines. And in that gentle glow, a man feels safe. Not because you try to fix him, but because you allow him to just be. Men don't always explain this out loud, but they always feel it. They notice how a woman's presence affects them. If you bring stress, even unknowingly, he will tense up every time he sees your name pop up. But if your presence brings peace, not silence, not emotional distance, but real calm, his body will start to associate you with ease. And that feeling is addictive. You become the place where his heart takes a breath, where his ego can rest, where his pain isn't picked at but soothed. That kind of presence stays with him. Because every man has women he's laughed with, flirted with, maybe even slept with, but few have made him feel truly peaceful. Peace also comes from trust. Not just trusting him, but showing that you're trustworthy. Do your words lift him or tear him down? Do you reflect his strengths like a mirror or zoom in on his weaknesses like a magnifying glass? Do you talk to him like a little boy who needs correction or like a man who deserves to feel strong? A man who feels judged emotionally will pull away or push back, but a man who feels understood will grow. When a woman learns how to hold emotional tension with grace, when she shares her needs without screaming, her hurt without attacking, and her limits without trying to punish, she becomes a rare kind of woman. And rare emotional strength is more attractive than beauty alone, because while beauty fades and passion can change, the safety of feeling emotionally supported never loses its power. But understand, being his peace doesn't mean hiding how you feel. It means learning how to feel your emotions without using them as weapons. It's about taking a moment before reacting, breathing before you lash out, thinking before things get worse. A woman who can handle her own emotions becomes a kind of safe harbor in a world that's full of storms. And men, even the toughest ones, are drawn to that kind of light, not because they're weak, but because they need steady. They're drawn to someone who glows without shouting, who guides without pushing. When a man feels truly safe emotionally, he opens up in ways even he didn't expect. He becomes more loving, more giving, more loyal, not because he has to, but because he feels completely at peace when he's with you. Now think, where does a man go when he's tired, unsure, or scared? If he doesn't have a woman who offers peace, he turns to other things. Drinks, work, shallow attention. But if he does have that woman, if he knows he can just sit quietly next to her and feel whole, if he knows he can fall apart in front of her and she won't judge him, if her presence brings him back to life, he will protect that bond with everything in him. She's not just his partner anymore, she becomes his safe place. And you don't walk away from the place that saved you. You protect it. You defend it. You honor it. So ask yourself, what is the emotional feeling of being around you? Are you a storm or a calm sky? Are you a place of fight or a place of rest? The woman who becomes a man's peace isn't the one who avoids conflict. She's the one who knows how to speak the truth without turning it into a war. She's the one who can show him the truth kindly, call him to be better without making him feel small, and love him even when he's still learning to love himself. Once a man feels that, every other woman fades into the background. He doesn't look around anymore because he knows what he has is not only rare, it's one of a kind. There's something going on deep in the hearts of many men, and most women don't even see it. It's the pain of being loved but not desired. Men are taught to be providers, protectors, the strong ones, and they do it. They give everything, they push themselves, they keep going quietly. But behind all of that is a human need, the need to be wanted, not just appreciated but desired, to feel like they're not just acceptable but magnetic to the woman they love. A man can deal with the outside world taking from him, but he can't thrive in a relationship where he feels unseen, either emotionally or physically. This is where many women don't realize their true power. They love their man, but they stop showing desire for him. They admire him, but they stop reaching for him. And when that longing fades, something precious inside him begins to starve. Making a man feel desired isn't just about touching his body, it's about touching his spirit. It's showing him that he's not just needed, but wanted. Not because you depend on him, but because you're drawn to him. Yes, sex matters, but desire is also in the little things. It's in the way you look at him across the room, the way your hand brushes his arm as you walk by, the way you lean into him just because you want to feel close. It's in the way your eyes light up when he talks about something he loves, the way you flirt with him even when no one's watching, the way you still playfully tease him or kiss him suddenly. When a man feels deeply wanted by the woman he loves, he changes him, he stands taller, he pays closer attention, he becomes more loyal, not because he's being rewarded, but because he feels truly seen. Desire makes a man feel like a man, not because it feeds his ego, but because it reminds him of his essence. You're saying, I see you, not just as someone who helps or supports me, but as someone I long for. And that doesn't take grand gestures. It's often in the smallest things. The way your breath catches when he takes off his shirt, your smile when he walks into the room, your kisses that surprise him. These moments matter because they say, you still move me. You still do something to me. That message fuels him. Many relationships don't die because love disappears. They fade because desire isn't fed. Life gets busy, stress piles up, affection becomes routine, touch becomes just part of habit, and a man starts feeling like a shadow in his own love story. You still care, you still love him, but he doesn't feel desired. When that happens, he might not leave, he might not cheat, but he will start to shut down. He'll stop reaching out, stop initiating, start wondering if you still see him as the man he used to be. Even if he never says it, that doubt will grow, unless you answer it, not with words, but with how you touch him, look at him, lean into him. This isn't about feeding his pride, it's about keeping the sacred pull between masculine and feminine alive. A man in his strength thrives when he feels drawn in by a woman in her softness, not fake softness, but real, confident and full of life. A woman who owns her desire, who doesn't hide it, who lets him feel it. That woman wakes something in a man that no fantasy ever could. He doesn't need other attention. He doesn't need escape, because the one who fuels him is right beside him, real, present and passionate. And here's the surprising part. The more a man feels desired, the more deeply he desires you. Masculine energy is fed by feminine invitation, not by demand, not by duty, but by the way she welcomes him, a glance, a soft touch, a whisper that stays with him. These things don't just stir his body, they reach his heart. They remind him that he's not just going through the motions. He's still dancing with the woman who sees his flame and keeps it alive. So, don't hold back your desire. Don't let routine steal your fire. Don't assume he doesn't need to feel chosen just because he's a man. He needs it maybe even more than you know. And when you're the woman who not only loves him, but shows him you still hunger for him, mind, body, soul, he won't just stay. He'll stay passionate. He'll stay focused. He won't care about what's out there because everything he wants is already right in front of him.